Michael, I'm outside of the courthouse where Victoria Affett is being arraigned as we speak on murder and burglary charges. Michael, this barbershop right behind me, all eyes were glued to that TV screen you see right there, watching what was happening in Washington, D.C. And you can see just how much snow they received. Look at this huge pile I am standing on right now. We are here right now on the south side of Syracuse, where you can see next to me there's a line of cars driving by. It's as simple as driving up to the site right here where you're able to stay in your car. Now, someone from upstate will come and give you that test, and those 3.5 people could also infect another 3 people. So again, it just shows the importance of social distancing and isolation at this time. Camera off or camera on. Teachers say there are valuable arguments for both. Well, it's an exciting day for many people here in central New York. Outdoor dining service can resume for the first time in over 2 months. And I'll step aside and give you a look at a scene we haven't witnessed in a very long time.
Woke up to, it sounded like fireworks and like smoke going around my house.
A terrifying wake-up call, especially on Thanksgiving morning. James Dooley and his family were all asleep when he woke up to gunfire just before 3:30 a.m.
Bullets were flying through, and I was just grabbing my kids, trying to get them out the way, and my 9-year-old nephew got shot twice.
Dooley says his nephew Devon was laying down right here on this couch. You can see the bullets.
He came and grabbed me, and he said that he felt a sting on his side, and that's when my son grabbed him. My oldest son grabbed him and looked and said, "Okay, you're all right, it's just a scratch."
Police are still trying to figure out why shots were fired at this specific home. Dooley believes there were over 20 shots fired. You can see the holes all around his home.
He wasn't crying, screaming, nothing. Here's a funny thing. When the police officer wanted to take a look at it, he said, "Okay, I'm gonna cuss."
His uncle says he's grateful Devon wasn't sitting up on the couch. For this to happen on Thanksgiving, Dooley says it's horrible and doesn't want to see anyone else go through something like this.
Now he's gonna be scarred for life. I mean, that's something no kid should have to go through. We shouldn't have to live in a environment like this.
Natalie Walters tells me all of this information coming forward creates a whole new level of grief. She recalls family discussions about taking her father out of a nursing home and wonders if things would be different if she knew all of the information she's learned the past few weeks. Natalie Walters of Syracuse lost her father, Jack, to COVID-19 and dementia in December. He passed away at Loretto.
Oh, I'm going to try to keep it together for you. I don't know how anybody can divorce the consequences or the culpability from the actions that were done.
Cuomo's aide, Melissa DeRosa, says the Cuomo team froze when the Department of Justice was asking for information on nursing home deaths. That was in August when state lawmakers were requesting the same data.
He is trying to deflect the responsibility of being governor in our state, being the governor who kept saying over and over, follow the facts. And when you decide to manipulate facts for your own fortitude, that is suspect to me.
I read Walters some of the governor's words. Apologize. Look, I have said repeatedly we made a mistake in creating the void. We made a mistake in creating the void when we didn't provide information. It allowed press, people, cynics, politicians to fill the void. Do you think that was an apology to families like you?
Having the bravery to look at a camera and say to the people of New York State, I am so sorry that this has happened to you all. And I promise, or I will, or I hope, anything that leads after that would have given, I think, all of us a sense of, wow, we're not left behind in all of this.
Do you think their circumstances with your father could be different now if it weren't for how everything was handled?
And I think had the information been given to us timely that we have found out has been withheld, that perhaps perhaps there could have been a different ending in this situation. We might not even be talking. You know, my father might still be here.
Now, Walters told me she watched the clip of Governor Andrew Cuomo stating there should not be an investigation about 7 times to make sure she was hearing him correctly. She believes there should be an investigation, and you can just tell from that interview how in pain she is. Reporting live in Syracuse, I'm Amanda Chin. A 9-month study of reimagining public safety in the city of Ithaca resulted in a draft proposal that's now getting weeks of scrutiny. The police chief, the officers union, even advocates for reform are raising concerns and complaints. Police experts I've interviewed are split in their views, and a key detail remains unknown. Will current officers have to reapply for their jobs? Is this something that you've talked about, the legality of officers having to reapply for their jobs?
Yeah, that's not in our plan. In our plan, officers would not have to reapply for their jobs.
That's not how this plan was first reported on in GQ magazine days before the mayor presented it to the community. And even then, when asked that specific question, Mayor Svante Myrick said much is still unknown.
The proposal is that there will be new positions, new types of positions, 2 new ones in the new department, and that officers would apply for one or the other of those positions. How the existing IPD officers become either public safety officers or community solutions workers is something that is up to the council.
Police Chief Dennis Nayer telling me at first officers were not advised they would have to reapply, but then heard they would have to reapply. Then on Monday, March 8th, the mayor's office confirming in this email to city council and officers that they would not have to reapply. Current IPD officers and supervisors would not be required to apply in order to maintain their current positions, and they would retain their civil service status, authority, and benefits of the title of police officer or higher ranks through any organizational transition. Weeks after the plan was introduced, the mayor now taking a firmer stance on his vision. When this Department of Community Solutions and Public Safety, comes about, how would officers who were originally part of the Ithaca Police Department, if they want to continue, what would be that process?
If they want to continue, they would be ported over to the new department as the armed officers. If they'd like to serve as the unarmed community solution workers, they could apply for that side of the department, but they would be guaranteed positions on the armed side. If need be, they could still be classified in New York as police officers, though their working titles for the city of Ithaca could be something different.
Now, I've reached out to the Ithaca Police Union to see if officers were told they would need to reapply. A spokesperson tells me under the original plan, they were told they would need to reapply for their positions. Now, the union is confused about the mayor's stance. The Common Council is set to vote on this proposal March 31st. Reporting in the studio, I'm Amanda Chin.